ladies and gentlemen, those in between or neither. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host. And today, instead of doing Pokemon Zeta, as promised, I thought some more grinding in Pokemon Zeta. I would like to do some Magic the Gathering Arena since it's been, gosh, almost a year. I've I actually tried to play on stream. The reason I say that is because I actually did use Magic the Gathering as a, a test run to see if my PC could actually handle all the components of streaming at one time. It succeeded to an extent. So, the way that I see it is I have several decks that I made.
This is Explorer.
And I'm
Explorer is a non-rotating format that only uses cards from paper magic. It
oh dear.
with the dinosaurs of Eczema. And it beats every standard set since.
Interesting. However, I do not want to do Explorer. I usually just do Alchemy. So, the way that I see this is that I'm at least going to go through every deck that I've made at least once. Just to kind of explain what the strategies are, or at least the strategies that I typically use with the deck, and have fun with it, and try to generate some coins to get more packs from the latest set, to possibly tweak the decks even further. That being said, Battlecry, Forces of Protection, and Burn Magic I typically use in ranked matches. So once I get through the general rotation, we might do just to see how things shake out with the latest set. Here, why don't we start with my newest deck, the River Guides, which is a blue-green merfolk deck. And basically the main strategy is to get a bunch of merfolks out, have them start exploring, have them progressively get stronger. Blue is in there to serve as like either a stasis or a counter. And if it works, it works. If not, well, I've got some work to do. So, let's get started. We're waiting on server connection. Now, I do admit I will not be talking as much because when you are in a match, you have a timer, so I cannot afford to be slow. Hello, friends. Oh gosh, and the lag has already started. Alright, so I go first, and this is a one-land hand. So, no, we are doing a mulligan. Better. Keep 6. Right. 1 negate back. So we're going to do an island. We're going to play a 1/1 flyer, Zephyr Gull. Oh, okay, so either you're doing the mono red or you've got some very red in there. Thankfully, since Zephyr Go flies, we should be able to get in some damage. Unless you use an instant. Okay, don't block the goblin, because that'll just generate another goblin. And our special land, which will come into tapped. Now, if he does try to play a non-creature spell, I do have a counter for it. And I think now would be the time to play it. That's a creature. Okay. That is also a creature. Play the land. Play Seeker of Sunlight. Just have Zephyr go Plink for 1. I need Essence Scatter, not... I need Essence Scatter, actually, not Negate. Negate isn't really helping. Okay, so I now have a map token that I can use to explore. However, I do want to keep the 2 mana just in case he does play a raid bombardment, which would make my life miserable. Where's the raid bombardment? Come on. Oh. You're just attacking. Okay. Ow. No, you are not getting more goblins. Sea Mode Scout. Let's see. I'm gonna keep that at the top of my deck. Have you fly over and plink. Well, exploring right now would not be a good idea. It's 4. Reduce it to 3. Ian's gonna show up. I'm thinking the map token. We make our defender a little bit stronger. We can put negate at the bottom because we don't really need that. And I do want to keep at least Seamote as another blocker. Oh. Or you just take out the blocker. That works too. Hey. Let's see what we can do here. We're going to use our token on Zephyr Gull. Oh man. We can just play. Nice. And send the flyer over. Huh. This is working. I'm surprised that this is working. Water knot. I'm gonna keep that on top because I can actually use water knot to limit the attackers even further. Additionally, if he brings in a bigger creature, I can just use water knot to try and contain it. Like Ogre Battle Driver. Water knot. Tie you up. And the flyers over. Oh. You know, see a decent match. I'm genuinely surprised that we were able to pull off the win. Not that this is bad, it's just a little bit unpolished. So I usually don't string many wins together with that one. Waiting on the server. Here we go. And I got some coins and experience. The experience will actually go towards the mastery track, which I don't have enough gems to get the premium version of. But you can get rewards like packs, little mastery orbs, which I'll show you what those are in a moment. But if you get the mastery version, you can get card styles, you can get draft tokens, you can get little pets. But of course, it's all if you're going to pay gems. Now, for the mastery orbs, you can get card styles, and if you get to a certain point, you can actually get an avatar to use on your profile, which is honestly not bad. I'm just filling out the green section because I get to a point where I can finish at least one section before the patch resets. And I did not check the shop today, so I'll have to check the shop to see if I need to spend coins. Or want to spend coins, I should say. Anyway, next game. So, the guides works out pretty well. This one, mono green elven deck. Point is to amass the lands and then buff the elves. And again, this is one of those decks where if it works well, but if it doesn't, it shows relatively quickly. I can't. Well, it's not that I can't string wins together, it's that wins don't often happen with this deck. I still enjoy playing it though. It's simple and yet fun. I go first again. Okay, so this time we're actually going to keep 7 because we have 2 lands in our hand. So it's a starting point considering we have a 2/2 and then a 1/1, but that can also serve as a third land for us. So we play our forest and oh, you're doing a black deck. I don't know what version of black you're doing, but you're doing a black deck. Protection from multicolored. Well, it's a good thing that this is not multicolored. Oh, you're doing an orc thing. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Are you going to attack this turn? You are not. Alright. So we'll start with our 3 land, and then I'm actually going to play the instant Tear Asunder, because I don't want that enchantment popping up and ruining my day. Do I want to swing? No, I don't want to attack this turn. Oh, I should have started with the plant, but I didn't. Okay, he's got 3 black. That's prime murder right now. Or this could be a Lord of the Rings deck, and he's actually going to use the ring to try and tempt. Ah, get it familiar. Okay. We'll start with my plant friend. And I cannot use their ability because they are technically summoning sick. So if I attack now, he's going to block with the familiar, and while I can take the familiar out, I would still lose life. So that's not a good option. So we're not going to attack. Oh no. God, I hate that artifact. It's just a twisted game and I don't like it. Oh, you're attacking. Well, I'm not going to block that. Top to bottom. I'm gonna let you draw. Blanchwood armor to buff my elf to 6/6 and then bring in another treetop warden just to serve as additional protection. Are you going to block? That is the question. You still could murder, which... Oh. You didn't murder. You just played an enchantment. Beginning of your upkeep. Exile this creature unless you pay 2 life. Okay. Take the 3 again. Did you put... Are you going to put something on bottom? That's my question. Congrats. You draw another card. I'm going to take the action to keep you because the reason I'm keeping life is because it's a 3/6, so I don't have to attack with it. I can try to use it as a defensive play. And now there's another 6/6 on the table. Sac a non-token creature. I will sacrifice the one that is already tapped. Sacrifice to the other treetop warden too. Yeah, either way. My plan is to exile it this turn. Oh no.
Enough with the mysteries. I've come for answers.
None of this. Original Planeswalkers. Each player discards. Alright. Oh, so you just discarded your second Orthonac. Oh, because it's a legendary artifact. We'll just block that. And to get out of the way. I'm probably going to win with this deck, unless I get very, very lucky, but... Come on. Can you give me the option, please? Oh, you're the one that's waiting. You destroyed my second one. Okay. I will decline. This predation. Well, it's not my favorite, but hey, it'll work. Leaving Liliana completely exposed.
You're gonna need a good undertaker.
Ah, hello. That's one of the new Ixalan cards. Great.
I'm tired of your secrets.
One top, one bottom. I will take the risk. Ouch. Yeah, I'm not gonna win this one, but it was fun.
Off
Hey,
you
my
go.
guy. Insult to injury. Yeesh. Oh, could be worse. Yep, I lose. I think we play, so there's nothing really at stake. Plus, the match, or at least the creatures I casted during the match, goes toward the daily objective. So, it's really not that bad. Just gotta wait on the server. That's all. And alright, so now what deck do I want to do next? I think I'm going to do Witch's Pets from the Wilds of Eldoran. It's very much a fairy tale esque set. And you'll see with some of the cards that it can get interesting. Now this is green and black as opposed to a straight green, so I do need to keep an eye on color ratio as opposed to just one color. Game leaves something to be desired, but I don't worry about it too much. So I'm actually going to keep this hand. Why? Because I have several one black land instants that will come in handy later. That's a legendary artifact. I'll have to keep that in mind. Now, I am playing a tapped land this turn because I still have one black mana that I can use just in case she decides to bring something out. Interesting. Playing a swamp, and then I'm going to play Monstrosity. which is literally a candy-like horror. And then I'm just gonna keep my one black land open just in case. Another enchantment. Either you are preparing for something, or you're just not getting the card you need. Either way, that's scary. We're gonna bring in Bog Badger as another attacker or defender. And we're gonna have Minstrosity attack for 3. Oh, you're actually getting a lot of land now. That scares me. Oh. Oh, this is a green-white buffer deck, isn't it? Legendary effect. Yeah, this is a green-white buffer deck. Tricky. So we'll use 1 black and 1 for Disfigure. And then can't use Cut Down. But I can send both of mine to attack. Depending on if he chooses to block or not, I've got an option. Not blocking. Alright. Not what I thought you'd do. In which I will bring in another Bog Badger. That I really don't want to mess with. Oh, and that knight has vigilance. So it's not going to tap when it attacks. Yikes. Get the win with this one either, but... Ooh. Lord Skitter, Sewer King. He's actually one of the main cruxes of this deck. I wish he came out a little bit sooner, actually. And is, at the beginning of each combat phase, he creates a rat token. And when he creates a rat token, I can exile a card from somebody's graveyard. Unfortunately, there's nothing in the graveyard for me to actually exile. You're cycling that. I've never actually seen somebody cycle. I've seen them like plane cycle and stuff, but not normal cycle. Oh no. That's gonna hit the table. Yeah, and that's gonna be too strong for cut down. Yeah, because that's just everything on my side. Okay. Yikes. Oh, you're just drawing cards now. Soul Cauldron. Which is not great. I think you'll need to start getting your cards out of exile, good sir. Ooh. Tear Asunder. That's gonna come in handy. Exile target artifact or enchantment. You're gonna start getting rid of your enchantments. Power this turn. Turn. Yeah, that's gonna go away. Create the rat. Now I can actually exile the only card in their graveyard. No tax. At this point, I'm literally just waiting for you to charge at me. That's going to work or not. But hey, could be worse. Siege veteran. Can cut down. Or in toughness add up to 4. And because magic resolves from the top down, my cut makes it so that way that enchantment doesn't have anybody to target. Oh, you little artifact. Oh well. Go on. The line. Chromanix, the Rat King. So this is a Pyrexian rat. Toxic one. Other rats I have toxic one, and I can go searching for a rat. Cards. Nothing. And there's nothing in your graveyard for me to exile, which is fine. I have to bait you somehow. You know how I'm going to do that. 1, 2. Alright. I will use Not Dead After All on the attacking Bog Badger. So I get a food token. And my Bog Badger comes back. He's a little stronger too. Again, I don't think I'm gonna I'm gonna do my damnedest to try. I think I lose here, actually. 13 plus 9. That's 21. I, I, I survive it. But at what cost? You put me to 1. Sacrifice the food. Puts me to 4. I lose next turn. Yeah, I lose next turn. But I can make this interesting. With Lord Skitter's Butcher. Toxic 1. But other creatures I have Menace till the end of turn, which requires 2 blockers as opposed to 1. Be a win. I doubt it, but it could be a win. Experiment, I lose. There's no way that I can do enough damage. Yep. It's not enough. I lose. I tried though. Close. You win. You don't even have to play a card. You win. Just, again, you didn't need to do that. You're playing out your hand when you don't need to. Usually, get her to stay around long enough, I can run an opponent's graveyard out, and that's when they get scared. And if I combine that with the Pyrexian Rat, then well, I've got a combination. Anyway, next deck. Let's see what we got. Well, do I want to do Nature's Toxins or do I want to do something else? Let's start with Nature's Toxins because that'll be a decent um, introduction to poison counters. Now, usually this is a toxic strategy, and I mean toxic as in the ability, not the um, not not an actual like this is a bad strategy. King, ah, cute. But the name of the game is to get your opponent to 10 toxic counters. Unfortunately, I'm going to mulligan because I don't have anything to work with on that one. However, here I do. So we're going to keep 6. Return Flensing Raptor to the bottom, and I go first. So I will play the Fair Basilica, which is a tapped land. And now I will play a Forest, and I will play an enchantment. No, it's Scarlet Hive. So I will have one Phyrexian Might show up every turn. Unfortunately, I take 1 HP whenever I do so. So I will do Slaughter Singer, and then I will do Zealot's Conviction on the Might. Get me, buddy. And I get another Might. Duelist of Deep Faith. And I will put in Zealot's Conviction on Slaughter Singer instead. So hopefully Slaughter Singer can actually stick around a little bit. I'm starting with you. There we go. Yeah, I lost Slaughter Singer, but I do have a way to get it back in the deck. In this deck, so I'm not too fussed about it. Gets the Mises Mantle. First Strike and Hexproof until the end of turn. So not only I have this hit, but the poison can start taking effect. The Curator. Oops. You actually have that in your hand. And you just forfeited. Oh, because would take effect. Aw. I don't necessarily like it when people forfeit, but hey, if you want to make my life easy, go for it. That was enough for the daily. Sweet. Plus, I leveled up. So the next time I level, I will get a pack from the latest standard set. So that was a nice introduction to poison. However, I've got a deck that can easily handle that. But before we get there, we'll do the Knights of Neo Arcadia. The Knights of Neo Arcadia is a blue-white knight deck. That's the basics of it. I've done ranked play with this deck before, however, I did have to alter cards. And by alter cards, I mean take cards out. So it's kind of fallen from grace. I still like to play it though. Let's see what we can do here. See if I can get lucky or not. Some otters. I do appreciate these people's usernames. Ugh. Well, I'm not gonna get lucky with a hand like that. Better! Much better, actually. Returning tactical advantage. It doesn't really do much for me unless I have a creature on field. So red, green. Knight of Dawn's Light, 2/2 first strike. Plus, if you gain life, it can be a decent chance to. Oh, I think I know what this deck is. Because I've actually played this deck before, I think. I don't know if he's modified it though. He could have modified it. Are you going to bring in a dragon? No, you are not. You are bringing in an Orcish battle driver. Okay. I'll do a benevolent nice night counselor, and I'm actually going to hold off on attacking this turn. Why? Because I know that Orcish battle driver is stronger than me, so it's just going to block whatever comes across the line. Additionally, he's going to bring in another stronger creature. Oh, you're just bringing in something for the land base. Noted. You want to taste. That's a little concerning. I'm not particularly fussed. That's a problem. Still not terribly fussed about it. Red and green are notorious for being able to somewhat synergize well with each other, especially if you're trying to do some sort of an aggro or some sort of a burn deck. So in other words, I need a little bit smarter. Well, your Irish battle driver's not able to assist. So we will actually enlist. Actually, no, I cannot enlist. But I can attack. I am fully aware, and that is why I will play tactical advantage. First strike. That was a little nasty. And I am tapped out, so I cannot destroy anything bigger. I'm just kind of waiting for the dragon to show up at this point. We're getting closer to the dragon. Yeah, you don't want to talk. You don't want to attack with the plant. Into the deck. Okay. Block that so he can stop getting dragons into his hand. Oh, man. You're tapped out, which is good, but I don't have enough of a land base to keep this going. Which is not good. Oh, Protocol Knight! Dang it. Well, I can at least make you stronger. Which is what I do. No. No attack. Oh, you brought up Volcanic Dragon. Oh, and that's enough. Dang it. Oh, well. Oh, I should have saved the two. Ah. Oh, well. It's an easy mistake. For our next deck, now we're actually going to get into the that I've played the most, at least in terms of ranked. So we've got Burn Magic, which is a red blue burn. Forces of Perfection, which is a Pyrexian nightmare, and Battle Cry, which is a red white soldier deck. We'll start with Burn Magic. And just to make things a little bit more spicy, stepping into ranked play. I can't, but I'll certainly do my best. Just waiting on the match. That's all. There we go. Not going to say that. But good luck to you. Mulligan. Better. Much better. Keep 6. Return Mocking Sprites. And we begin. And we're gonna bring in an untapped land as opposed to a tapped. Why? Because I do want to melt through whatever he brings in. If I can melt through whatever he brings in. She. I don't know. Alright. Interesting. We're gonna do a island now. And kind of go from there. I think you're just waiting on me, huh? Well, unfortunately, I hate to tell you. I am a little bit smarter than you think I am. Hey! No. You don't get that critter on the field. Okay, I've got 3 lands now, so we're gonna start with our first creature. And we're gonna hang on to that 1 red blue, just in case. And this is why. Because this is a soldier deck. You two, that is just what I need. Get rid of you. Can't really do anything with the amplifier because the amplifier is summoning sick. If he swings, we're just gonna let him pass through. Because I don't want to lose my amplifier. Not yet. Not yet. Hey! Cool. So we're just gonna melt through you. And now I have enough mana that I can just swing and not worry about it. Smack. Wish, you could actually untap them if you cast an instant or sorcery spell. But that's not... I think that would up the cost a little bit, and then I don't think the card would be necessarily a common anymore. I was waiting for for you to do that. No equipment. Well, just gonna wait until something comes in, I guess. The problem, there isn't a ton of creatures in the stack, and when they do, they're heavily reliant on casting instants or sorceries. But I think we are burning out a good portion of this person's deck. And unsummon just in case. Did you draw a land? I'm hoping you drew a land. Why? Because it would be funny. But yeah, red blue burn is just. It's fun to play with, it's not exactly fun to play against. And this is also if you manage to get the deck right to begin with. Oh, are you just gonna wait at the clock? Uh, fabricate. Yeah. Hey, I can actually start getting some creatures on the field now. With Royal's reinforcements, I have two 1/1 creatures. Which, yeah, it's not a lot, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, you are going to. You're going to go away. I don't. Well, no. Land right now would actually be decent. He's on the field right now. So if I use an unsummon, it doesn't come back to my hand, it just goes away completely. I need either Haughty Djinn, Mocking Sprite. Like, well. Yeah, any of the other creatures that I put in this deck. For Moradin, or Muradin, I think. Huh, I wonder. Can I actually unsummon your token? I can. Okay, so you still have the axe, but you have nothing to equip the axe to, which is nice. And I do have a lightning strike in my hand, just in case I need to use it. Man, we are both land flush at the moment. Only issues. I'm sitting on a card. Or not. And the splitter doesn't boost toughness, it only boosts power. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. I could stop getting land, that would be awesome. How are you, buddy? Oh, I have a shock in my hand now. Cool. save it and just be cheeky. Mirrodin. That's 3-2. That goes away. I'm sorry to take away the only thing that you have on the at the moment. And now closed. 2-2, first strike and trample. It's 3-2, first strike and trample. Now he's even bigger. Hey! Okay, so we kick the amplifier, pop this guy away. That came in clutch. I feel so bad for this guy. Okay, Essence Scatter, which would be good if he tries to bring a creature in. We just do a full-on swing with everybody. That's an equipment. And I can't counter that ability. Yeah, it's nice, but buddy, I'm at a distinct advantage over you. Yeah, that's fine. I let him through. Lands. I win the game. Usually that's not how this deck plays out, though. Which is... At least to me, it's kind of funny. Oh. It's been a while since I've played with that deck, too. Happy to see it still works. Or at least works as intended. And we got some more coins and experience, which is good. Now we'll actually go into my Forces of Perfection deck, which is honestly a better toxic deck than I thought. I'm also surprised that I've been doing this for an hour. Oh well. If this one's a shorter stream, then it's a shorter stream. It's not exactly a bad thing. Alright, Kirby. Eek. One land? No. 3 lands that I can work with. We keep 6. We return this one. That is my question. You are not. So we will bring in a tapped land to just get ourselves a little bit of extra life. No. This is what I think it is that I need to work quickly. Thankfully, that allows me to remove that spider off the board. No Spooter. No Spooter for you. are just annoying. Alright, so we play our lands, and I'm actually going to play the Hive first. And I don't need Mover at this point. The reason I put in Dune Mover is to make sure that I could at least guarantee one land on the top of my deck, which is always nice to have. But unfortunately, if I have all the land I need, then well, I don't need land. Oh no. Is this where it starts to go down? That's my question. Maybe not. Whisper of the Dross on your friend there. Submit 0 so that you don't get an extra counter. Yeah, I'm gonna bring in my Hive Master. Because if he dies, then I get another Might that I can work with, so it's not the end of the world. You weren't expecting me to lose. Or, you weren't expecting to lose that Kami, were you? I don't think you. If you click on them, they spawned and it's cute. Uh, some pets do. It depends on which pet you get. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that one at all. Poke poke. Okay, Crawling Chorus. And Blight Billy Rat. And we will swing with what we have. The world if I lose either of them. Going to block. You are not going to block. Okay, so I have 2 counters on you now. Cool. Nice. I have 2 counters now. Alright. This. Oh. Well, I can work. Actually, anything, you should not have taken away my Hive Master. Oh. Another game with the forces of perfection. Mainly because that one person forfeited. Well, I'll do a game with Battle Cry, and then we might go back to the forces of perfection just to see. Just to actually, I can just do the forces of perfection now. So we're just doing the forces of perfection. Cause I usually don't play black, and I do play Magic at all, but the Streets of New Capenna and Pyrexia all will be one made me enjoy black, or at least had cards and had strategies that had me enjoy black. Um, will have my crawling chorus come out first. So that way, if you try to kill it... Oh. There. And the main reason is because I do want to put a swamp on the top of my deck. Game, I took action. Please allow me to put a swamp on the top of my deck. Okay. What are you? Oh, you're a Thallid. Ew, you're a Thallid. Gross. Oh, and you're drafting from that spell book. Okay. You can stop revealing cards now. I don't really care. Oh, it's gone. Swing for toxins. You have made an egregious error. The reason I say that is now this person has 3 toxic counters, which means Skrelv's Hive has an additional effect, giving both of my creatures lifelink. And I can just throw these 2. That's fine. To the Phyrexian Might. If you think about it. Because it's giving somebody half the time to take the enchantment's corruption effect going. Yeah, it's not something you really want to deal with. It's fine. I'll just send the 1. Despair. You will not. Oh. Oh gosh, that is quite extensive. Huh. Bring in mites. Can I actually riddle you out? That's the question. Because you can only block 1. And I'm not for a life total win here. I'm going for a toxic win. So, if that counter gets to 10, I win. Which buffs the other one. Push everybody in the field. It shall be victorious. And I can afford to take the hit from the 2 bigger creatures. So, I'm not particularly worried about this. goodness. How? Oh, okay, that. Well played. Well played. I think I might lose. I was confident before, and now not so much. Huh. Huh. Well, I need to block this. They have trample either way, so it's. Ow. Solid hit. Game's over. I win. That goes away. You get an additional poison counter. I win this. Hello. That. That was what we call a touch and go. And if you're wondering how well I do, at least in terms of ranked, if I have the right deck with me, I can get up to platinum. So, not great, but I'm not the worst. Nizing Freewheeler. So, Menace. So, when enters the battlefield, each player mills 3. Transform. When this creature transforms into hideous Flesh Wheeler, put target permanent card with mana value 2 or less from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Theoretically, that means it could target either. In which case, huh, cool. Also, terrible image. Our last deck, our soldiers deck, Battle Cry. And since we are in the beginnings of gold rank, this might be a little bit harder. And then, actually, I'll be able to get 3 packs from the shop. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. See what we will get from those. 2 land, so yeah, that's good enough for me to work with. That's fine. I'll discard peaks and my turn. Play a red, and I will play fencing this. 1/1 double strike. So it does first strike damage and normal damage. Pretty good for getting rid of the pesky Death Touch critters with Death Touch. Uh-huh. Cool. Nice. Or at least that's what I would say if you weren't so easy to take out in my hand. Hexagold Slash. Does this leave me exposed? Yeah, probably. Can I still make it work? Absolutely. Oh, and you also have the cub. Aw. Cute. You draw 1 card and lose a life. I'm not going to use Destroy Evil on that. Because there are much scarier things that are like out of this player's deck. So keep punching them in the face. But sure. think I can get rid of it. Okay. The land, which allows me to bring in a flying soldier, which allows me to buff fencing ace for the turn, which is nice. Smack. Do with 5 land, huh? What are you going to do with 5 land? Probably bring out some scary Pyrexian abomination. Probably. Uh-huh. Another destroy evil. That's an enchantment. I'm actually going to destroy it. Wait, you don't get an additional effect from it. Goodbye. And now, charge! Only I had the Horn of Gandor right now, because that would be amazing. Well, actually, no, the Horn of Gandor would not be amazing. Now, anyway. Incubate 2. I have enough to destroy you. I have every intention of destroying you. You only incubate once. Not gonna worry about the destroy evil and just use my flyer right now. Smack. Oh, hello. Well, now you're making things difficult. Don't necessarily appreciate that. Pause Singer's ability to proc. Pause. Okay. Time for destroy evil. You had a plan, didn't you? Raid bombardment! Sure. I've riddled you out. Lovely. Didn't think that would work, but hey, it worked. Neat. And by no means am I the best Magic player. It really all comes down to play what colors you want to play what style you want to play. And as long as you have the practice, you'll be fine. Or because I did not check the store today. If it's card styles, then I can buy. I can use my coins on packs. Oh, it's card styles, but they're lands. It's the land card styles. So I can't buy any of these, but they look pretty. They look very pretty. I think they're alternative art from the first Kamigawa set. I think they're they're really pretty. I like that. I like that a lot. But since I don't have 4,000 gold, I only have 3,000. I'm going to spend them on 3 packs, and we're gonna do a little bit of pack opening because we've also got our golden pack, which is going to be full of rares and mythics. So first things first, we're going to start with the 4 Lost Cavern packs. Pack number 1. Got a mythic in there. So we've got Hidden Nursery, which is a cave. I haven't found. Well, a lot of cards have Discover. Paying its mana cost or put it into your hand, the rest on the bottom in any order. That could be an interesting mechanic. I should put a deck together like that at some point. Not now. Glorifier of Suffering, so a vampire soldier. When Glorifier of Suffering enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on 2 target creatures. I've seen another vampire, I think, from this set that would benefit from it. Jade Seedstones. Ooh, this is another one of those green white buffer decks. Or at least this could be another card for it. When Jade Seedstones enters the battlefield, distribute 3/1/1 tokens among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures you control. And if you exile a creature and pay the mana cost, you get a 7/7 golem, and you gain life equal to the mana value of the exiled card used to craft. Oh, that could be brutal if you manage to get into late game as opposed to early game. Because yeah, that is a pricey artifact. Screaming Phantom, which makes you mill. I don't necessarily enjoy that. Pirate hats. Hey, pirate deck. Yeah, that could happen. Uh, Equipped creature gets 1/1 +1/+1 and has whenever this creature attacks, draw a card, then discard. Aw, it's cute. Scampering Surveyor, which is a gnome, and in this set, gnomes are little uh artifact creatures, not actually like not the race. Just so we're clear. When Scampering Surveyor enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land or cave card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. And at 3/2, it's a beefy guy. It's it's beefier, but I think it's a little. I think that one's just a little too expensive for what it does, and a little too focused on base power and toughness for what it does. But let's see what our mythic rare is. Oh, it's a planeswalker. Curious Canned, who is a Loxodon. So whenever you cast spell, Canned deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life. Oh, this is perfect for the Discovery decks Cool. So you can add, if you add one loyalty counter, you create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. Interesting. If you subtract 3, you discover 4 cards, which can be yikes. And then if you get up to 6 loyalty counters and you spend them all, exile any number of target cards from your graveyard, add a mountain for each card exiled this way. You may play those cards this turn. I assume you would still have to pay the mana cost for them in order to play them, though. Also, yeesh, that's an expensive cost for a planeswalker anyway. Okay, and I think we got another mythic. Yeah, we did. So join the dead. Target creature gets -5/-5 until the end of turn, and descend 4. That that can be interesting. Walk with the ancestors. Return up to 1 target permanent cards. Permanents are creature enchantments, artifacts, and I think and lands. I think basically anything that sticks on field and just kind of stays there. And then discover again, which is nice. That's really expensive though. 5? Yikes. Staggering size. Basically, the giant growth of this set, which is +3/+3 and trample until the end of turn. Standard green buff card. Exali's Lorekeeper. Oh, oh, this is for the dinosaur decks. Nice. So basically, a 1/1 for 1 forest. Standard. If you tap her, you can add 1 mana of any color. You can spend that mana to cast a dinosaur spell or activate the ability of a dinosaur creature. Interesting. Very interesting. That's got a decent amount of synergy with it. I like that. 3/2 flying, and when he enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorist gnome token. Again, I think that's a little expensive, but that's just me. That's that's kind of my thing. A lot of the cards are on the higher end for like mid to late gameplay. I haven't seen a ton of early game cards that I like. Thousand Moons Crack Shot. Okay. Whenever Thousand Moons Crack Shot attacks, you may pay 3. When you do, tap target creature. I like the ability to tap, but I don't like that you have to pay for it. As bad as that is to say, because there was a card in Kamigawa, the second set, Imperial Subduer. Whenever a samurai whenever a samurai attacked alone, you would just tap a a creature. So basically, there would be these samurai decks that would you would only have one attacker, but that attacker would be able to do a whole bunch of things, and I think they tried to nerf that to. It could work. It could work. Turns. Okay. Ooh, this is for the explore mechanic. Nice. Um, if a creature would explore, instead you scry 1. When that creature explores, the, you scry and then the creature explores. Okay, so you can actually look at the top card and you could put it on the bottom of your library. Explore, which would allow you to see the next card. That's interesting. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands, transform it into the Myconid Maze. Uh, The top four cards of your library, you may reveal a creature card from among them and put that card into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in any order. I like better than the land card, actually, which is kind of sad. And then, what is our mythic rare? Uh, Ogier Exonal Deepest Might. Ooh, another god card. 4/4 for standard. Trample. Interesting. If a red source you control would deal an amount of non combat damage less than Ogier Exonal's power to an opponent, that source deals damage equal to his power instead. And when he dies, return it to the battlefield transformed into Temple of Power. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Huh. To put a deck together around him. I don't know. And that was only an attack. Alright, let's see what we got in our third pack. I'm not expecting. That's another mythic. Oh boy. Oaken is a Siren Pirate. Typically used. Okay, so you can tap her to add an island, but you can only use that island to cast an artifact spell or activate an artifact's ability. Goal Taker. So 2/2 menace. If you descend, you can put a 1/1 counter on him. Okay. Common wild card, which can be used to craft cards for your decks that you don't have. A uncommon wild card, which kind of does the same, only for uncommon cards. Plundering Pirate. When he enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Nice. Thousand Moons Infantry. Untap during each other player's untap step. So he's always ready to block. I like that. I like that a lot. Eclipse. All creatures gain -2/-2 until the end of turn. If a creature an opponent controls would die this turn, exile it instead. Ooh. Ooh, that could get dicey. And there's the blood bloodletter of Alcazaz. I think I actually have Alcazaz. I'm not sure. Flying, if an opponent would lose life during your turn, they lose twice as much instead, and damage causes loss of life. 4, and he's fairly expensive. That's an interesting card. I might want to put a deck together on that too. All right, Walk with the Ancestors, which we've seen before. Kaleem's, wait no, Calceline's Stone Tree. Oh, so you have to craft him with a cave. Oh, geez, for a 5/5. Hello. When Calceline's Stone Tree enters the battlefield with the top 6 cards, you may put a land among them onto the battlefield tab, put the rest on the bottom in random order. What is it with this set and artifacts just on the surface being better than what you would transform them into? Because Lodestone Needle is actually another one of those where it's better not to craft the compass. And the Stone Tree also falls into this category. Alright, so Whaling Pirates. When they enter the battlefield, if you control an artifact, tap artifact, target artifact or creature, and put a stun counter on it. Nice. Ooh, that. Flying Lifelink. When Cavern Bat enters the battlefield, look at target opponent's hand. You may exile a non-land card from it until the Cavern Bat leaves the battlefield. It is a 1/1, so it's gonna be a little interesting. Oaken Siren, Leadstone Needle, which you guys saw, Disturbed Slumber. Uh-oh. Until end of turn, target land you control becomes a 4/4 dinosaur with reach and haste. It is still a land. It must be blocked this turn if able. Oh boy. And this is a rare, not a mythic. Corpses of the Lost. Skeletons you control have +1/+0 and have haste. When Corpses of the Lost enters the battlefield, create a black skeleton pirate creature token. Nice. At the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, you may pay a life. If you do, return Corpses of the Lost to its owner's hand. The wording on that one's a little weird. I'll admit. And now we've got our golden pack, which is all rares and possibly a mythic rare. So let's see what we got. Rares and 4 rares, and these are from different sets. So we have Leyline Binding from Dominaria. Flash and Domain. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each basic land type among lands you control. When Leyline Binding enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent until this card leaves the battlefield. I didn't get how Domain actually worked, so I don't think I'll be using this card. City. This is from the newest set. Vigilance, and whenever Sentinel in the name of the city enters the battlefield or attacks, create a map token. And it's a 3/4, so it can be a decent blocker too. Huh, might want. Tyrant of Cure Ridges from the Last War. 4 flying for 6 mana. When Tyrant of Cure Ridges enters the battlefield, it deals 4 damage to any target, and you can buff it. Yikes. Scary Dragon. Drana and Levia. This is from... Okay, so this is from the Brothers' War. This is from... Battle for the Multiverse? I don't remember the set name. Flying, Vigilance, activated abilities of creatures of your opponent cannot be activated. Oh geez. Diana and Lavina has all activated abilities. Oh. You are expensive, but I understand why. Because that is a very scary. That's a scary duo. That's a very scary duo. Now let's see what we got for mythics. We've got Ojertak, the Deepest Foundation. This is again from the latest set. This is the White God. 6/6 Vigilance. Hello. If 1 or more creature tokens will be created under your control 3 times, they're created instead. Wow. That's a lot of critters. When Ojertak dies, return it to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. So Temple of Civilization. Thank you. 3 tap, transform Temple of Civilization. Activate if you only attack with 3 or more creatures this turn and only as a sorcery. That is still probably the easiest god to get out if you were to actually play with the gods of this set. You still need a bunch of mana to get it out initially, but I don't know if you could. I don't know if you could play the land first. That's the problem. And Agatha of the Vile Cauldron from the Wilds of Eldraine. It's a bit on the smaller side. However, activated abilities of creatures you control cost X less to activate, where X is I get that other vial cauldron's power. This effect can't reduce the mana cost to less than 1. Um, you have to buff her, and as you buff her, she gets better. Mm, decent early play, but I wouldn't stick around afterward. Oh, still that was a very good session of Magic. At least for me, I got to go through all my decks, or at least I got to show you guys all my decks. I got a few good matches in. I made it to the next tier in terms of ranked play, so I've made progress. I like this. And with all of that being said, I think we're going to call it for today. I do hope that you guys enjoyed today's shorter stream. Please make sure to leave a follow and ring that notification bell so you'll be notified the next time I go live. On the YouTube channel, which I know I need to post content, I'll probably do that either tomorrow or Sunday, depending. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe over there so you don't miss a recap. If you're feeling particularly generous, I do have a Ko-Fi link in the About section of the Twitch channel and in the description of the YouTube videos. You don't have to donate to me, but I would appreciate it if you did, since any money generated through that link will go back to assets toward the channel in some way, shape, or form. Additionally, I've got a couple fundraisers that I would like to bring attention to. The first is for an artist friend of a friend by the name of Anne who needs some dental work done very soon. She needs, I believe, $4,800 for us, which is expensive. If you'd like to help her out, a link to her GoFundMe is in the description, the About section of the Twitch channel, and in the description of the YouTube videos. Sorry, I kind of had to swallow there. Additionally, Darkest Cyril, a streaming buddy of mine, had his car die. I don't know how much money he actually needs for to purchase the car, but he needs a car to just get back and forth to his two jobs. If you would like to help him out, there will be a link to his GoFundMe in the About section of the Twitch channel and in the description of the YouTube videos as well. With all of that being said, I hope to see you guys on Monday for some more Genshin Impact. We will finally be getting into Sumer